All right, everybody, what is going on? Good afternoon, late afternoon now. Hope you guys are still doing well. And we're going to be kicking off another little series on this channel. This is not going to be for everybody, I know that. But I make a lot of videos that are not necessarily for everybody. So for those of you who are here, for those of you who are interested in this topic, let's start taking a look at the 2027 NFL Draft. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. So basically, there's a lot of information we don't have yet that will inform us on what we can expect in this upcoming draft. I think that much is obvious, right? We need to see what happens in the 2026 college football season for us to really know what's going to be up in the 2027 draft. But we can start making some assumptions. We can start making some educated guesses, and we can at least speak generally about the players that will probably be available and what the Seahawks should be interested in. So obviously, this is going to come from a Seahawks perspective. We're going to be focusing in on the positions that the team might have an interest in. And we're going to go ahead and start with quarterback, and that's going to be the topic of our video today. I'm going to go through some of the notable quarterback names in this draft, basically everybody who's in or close to the top 100, and give an initial impression of what they can do and what they can offer and some things to look out for this season. Now, I understand that quarterback is a position that Seattle doesn't really need to address right now, but I do think there is a world where the Seahawks decide to take a quarterback and maybe even use an early-ish pick on a quarterback next season, depending on what's going on with Jalen Milroe. Drew Lock is a free agent, and Sam Darnold might want a monster contract extension next offseason that we end up not wanting to give him. And if that happens, anything can happen. So don't be shocked if the Seahawks end up in the market for a quarterback next offseason. And next year's draft is thick with quarterbacks. So we're going to start at the top. Even though I don't think there's any way the Seahawks pick high enough to get a lot of these guys, we got to let the season play out to know that for sure. So let's go ahead and talk about what there is to talk about. So 2027 NFL draft quarterbacks. We're going to start with the big dog right now. This is the guy that most people assume will end up being the top quarterback, Arch Manning. He's the prototype. He has more that he brings to the table than anybody else in this class when it comes to ability. So Arch Manning is the big dog. He's got the arm. He can make all the throws. He can get it down the field. And he's a dual threat. He's got everything you could want in that toolbox. And he's starting to put it together. Last season, it wasn't everything that we wanted. It wasn't the amazing season that some people were hoping to see. But the only thing that's really missing from Arch Manning is just some of the mental stuff and some of the finer points, things that are probably going to come with experience. He's got the big arm. He can layer throws and make all the throws. He's got the mobility, and he's a good athlete. You're just going to need to see if he can put it all together. And this year at Texas, if he puts it all together, and I do believe that he will, he's probably your number one overall pick one way or the other. And I don't think there's any way Seattle has a chance to take him at number one overall, of course, but you can't talk about quarterbacks in this draft without talking about Arch Manning. So he is the prototype. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. Okay, so the other big gun in this QB class is Dante Moore. He's another guy projected to be a top 5 pick. He's accurate. He's got the arm talent. He can get the ball out on time. He's a good pre-snap reader as well. So you've got some mental stuff that is there as well. He's got mobility. He's got scrambling ability. So he is very close to a prototype. He has a lot of things that you would like. He just doesn't have the cannon arm to get the ball deep downfield the way you would prefer. That's like the one thing he's missing. So Dante Moore, obviously in a little bit of a funky spot this year because of some of the things that happened in the offseason. But as of right now, I still view him as being likely a top 5 or at least a top 10 pick. He's got so much stuff that you like. I mean, Marcus Mariota went number 2 overall once upon a time. I think Dante Moore is at least on that level. So he's the other big gun, the other guy that it would be hard to imagine Seattle having a chance to get him. Okay, so now we're on to the next tier. These are guys that are going to be first round picks, I believe, as of right now, but probably more mid first round. First guy is going to be Drew Mestmaker. We need to see what he can do against good competition because he was fantastic last year, but he was playing for North Texas. This year he's going to be playing for Oklahoma State. The what are they? The Cowboys, the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Very good processor, very smart, gets the ball out fast. He's got a great arm too, and he's an underdog story. He was a walk-on at North Texas, I believe. The main thing we need to see from him is really just, can you do it against real competition? And he could stand to put on a little bit of weight. He's a little bit light, but that's pretty easy to take care of. We just need to see if he can replicate this degree of success against real competition in 2026. But he's got the tools, man. Darian Mensah, formerly of Tulane, then he transferred to Duke, and now he's in Miami. So every year he's moving up in competition level, and last year he did great for Duke. So he passed the first test, but if he can be good again this year, then he's pretty legitimate. So Darian Mensah, another guy who I think will be a middle first-round pick. Good arm. He can layer throws. He can feather throws in there. Makes good reads. Advanced processor. Moves through his progressions really well. And he has proven that he can play against good teams and remain accurate. The main issue with Mensah is just he's small and he doesn't have a great deep ball. He has a good arm, but he doesn't have the ability to really push it down the field the way you would like from an NFL quarterback. So we'll see if that comes along this year, but as of right now, that's where I am with him. Julian Sayin of Ohio State is another guy who I think, as of right now, is probably about a middle first-round pick. Had 1 year starting at Ohio State and was great, but it's Ohio State. There's a lot of great stuff going on there. And if you're a quarterback to work with, but he's extremely accurate, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in this class. He's got a talented arm. He understands how to push the ball out of his hands quickly as well. And he's really good in the pocket. He's kind of a prototype from the 90s. Like when you think about the kind of quarterback that you would have coveted back then, the guys who were pocket passers, that kind of feels like what Julian's saying is, like the Drew Bledsoe type. He's just not great outside the pocket. When you ask him to scramble, not so good. When you ask him to extend the play with his legs, not so much. So Julian's saying that's the problem. Next up would be Dylan Raiola. We probably all know who this guy is because he's kind of made himself into a meme here, but talented quarterback still. Transferred out of Nebraska. He's going to be playing for Oregon this year. Didn't necessarily always play great at Oregon, but the talent is clearly there. He's got legitimate arm talent. He can make throws from different platforms. He can hit the deep ball. He's got a big arm, highly accurate. And unlike a lot of these guys, he can play under center. He's not a shotgun hog. He can take snaps from under center and play in a pro-style offense. Main thing is he doesn't handle pressure that well. You pressure him, too many mistakes. He needs the play to stay on time in order to win. So that's the main issue with him right now, but we'll see what he can do this year with Oregon. Obviously, a lot more offensive talent there. And then you've got CJ Carr, currently projected to be a top 20 pick. So this is another middle first round guy. He's got a big arm, very good deep ball thrower, can get it deep down the field. He's got a quick release, accurate. He can handle pressure without turning it over or taking sacks, but he is one-dimensional as a quarterback for the most part. He is somebody that is more of a statue. So he's kind of like a 90s quarterback, somebody that would have excelled in that climate. Nowadays, most people want mobile quarterbacks, so I don't know if he'll be coveted at an elite level, but as of right now, he does project out to be a first-round pick. We'll see what happens in the season, but he is of note. And then our final first-round guy right now, and by the way, I don't think 8 quarterbacks will go in the first round, but these are just where they're graded based on various big boards. DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway could be this year's Anthony Richardson. Hasn't played very well yet, right? But he's an absolute freak athlete. He has a monster arm. He's got a cannon. He can create outside the pocket. He's got Cam Newton's size, so he can run with power. He is that Anthony Richardson type package. The issue is he's just not very good at quarterback yet. He makes a ton of mistakes. He's really raw. His footwork is all messed up. So he's got to learn how to actually play quarterback. But if he does, again, there's a reason why I bring up Anthony Richardson. There's a ton of talent in here. It just, we need to actually see it be a little bit more productive in 2026 before we feel too great about it. But DJ Lagway is, he's probably going to be this year's Anthony Richardson, that kind of super talented, but very raw and questionable quarterback. All right, so those are your guys that are currently projected as first rounders. We got some second rounders here, like Lenoris Sellers of South Carolina. He's been starting there for a couple years now, been productive, but not anything over the top great. He's another awesome athlete. He's big, he's fast, like super fast in a straight line, good athlete, big time deep ball, can get the ball deep down the field, Randall Cunningham style, but inaccurate, hasn't really developed consistent accuracy yet, misses a lot of easy throws, and the mental parts of his game in general are not there. He doesn't make reads, he doesn't progress through the defense. He is a work in progress. We got to see what happens this year. Jaden Mayava, I think is how you pronounce it. USC guy, had a nice year last year for USC, first full year starting for them. What do I have here? A deep ball guy, another deep ball guy, another guy who can really get it downfield and find a way to get it to his receivers 40 yards plus down the field. He's got good size. He's an intimidating physical presence, and he's smart against pressure. He's a lot of these quarterbacks struggle against pressure because they're kind of green, but Mavaya, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, sorry about that, beats out pressure. It's just a matter of the fact that he turns it over too much and he makes too many mental mistakes. So some stuff to work on, but intriguing talent. This next guy's actually a lot of fun. He might remind you a little bit of Ryan Tannehill. Luke Kromenhoek. He's transferred around a little bit. Currently, I think he's on USF, the Bulls. So he hasn't really been able to find a permanent landing spot yet, and you can see that he hasn't played a lot. But the talent is reminiscent of Ryan Tannehill. And if you remember, Tannehill coming out of college was like a, died in the dipped in the river Styx type of athlete here. He looks like a quarterback. He has the arm you're looking for. He just needs to build experience. He just needs to actually play some. But there is something very intriguing with Kromenhoek. So if he can actually find a way to start a whole season and start showing that he's improved from where he was a few years ago, you got something. Drake Lindsay of Minnesota here, a one-year starter for them so far. He's very sharp mentally. He runs the offense like a pro, and he looks like a prototype quarterback. He's the 6'5", 230 prototype, the Peyton Manning, the Tom Brady, that type of quarterback. He just kind of has a weak arm, and some of the fundamentals physically are not there, so He's a little bit underwhelming, probably more of a third-round pick here. Still good, though. And another guy who currently projects into the third round is Trinidad Chambliss. And this guy was in the news quite a bit last season. He was getting caught between a couple different teams, and it wasn't clear if he was going to be able to play this year. But it turns out he will be able to play, and he was pretty spectacular last year. And there's a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean a lot of Russell Wilson here, honestly. He's a dual threat, really hard to deal with because it's hard to end the play with him because of his mobility and escapability. He's really good on the deep ball. He handles pressure quite well, barely ever turns it over. It's just he's just small. And unlike Russell Wilson, he's not just short, he's also light, which means you get hurt more and the hits you take affect you more. And he doesn't have tremendous arm velocity. He can get it down the field, but fitting it into a tight window, it's a little bit tough. And the final guy I want to discuss for a minute here in this video is CJ Bailey of North Carolina State. Probably looking at like a late third, early fourth as of right now. We'll see where that goes. But he's a traditional pocket quarterback. He's big, 6'6". He's got a big arm. He can get it down the field, but you got to keep him within structure. You got to keep him in a clean pocket with a clean a clean opportunity to survey the field, and his accuracy isn't there yet. So there's plenty to work on here. He's definitely raw. He's a guy who can move up, though, because he is kind of like that old school pocket prototype. And those are all the guys who I think are like top 100 guys as of right now. There are other quarterbacks that are of interest as of right now. Brendan Sorsby, although Sorsby won't play this year. Peyton Hauser, Sam Leavitt, Nico Iamaliva, Josh Hoover, John Mateer, Will Hammond, and Aiden Childs. Those are other guys I think that are worth keeping an eye on right now for the NFL. So it's a very good quarterback class. And if you maybe were thinking, I don't want the Seahawks to draft a quarterback this year, that's something I think you should think about, because not every quarterback class is going to be this good. All right, so that's what I got with the quarterbacks right now. We'll talk plenty more about them when the season starts, but I wanted to kind of give a preview, and let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you like. Let me know if you guys think I missed anybody big. All right, everyone have a good rest of your day. Go Hawks. More videos coming tomorrow. Probably going to stream tonight, but either way, have a great day, and go Hawks.